Hey there. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my marathon training plan today. I'm getting ready to go on a run. Um, when I say plan, big air quotes. So I went into this with the best intention to do the Higdon Marathon 3, and I will link that down in the info section for this video. It's a free plan. He has a ton of them. He has starting programs all the way through advanced programs. And so I thought that for me that the Hal Higdon 3 plan was going to fit best. So I'm going to tell you about how I modified it and what my training plan is. Again, plan in air quotes because I'm not really following much of a plan. But what I found was the Hal Higdon plan. Just for me, it's a more advanced plan. If you've been a couch potato, you are not going to be able to train for a marathon. You're not going to get in enough volume and miles if you're only training 2 or 3 times per week. So everything that I'm going to say today, including what I'm actually doing, is not going to be appropriate for a beginner runner. This is going to be for somebody who has already done some races, has been cross training. So maybe you've been lifting weights, maybe you've been swimming, riding a bike. So you have a background in fitness. That this is going to be for you if you want to train with a minimalist approach to a marathon. But if you are just beginning, I can't tell you enough how you actually need to spend a lot of time with a heart rate monitor, making sure that you are training in, I think they call it zone 1. So you're basically doing strict aerobic training. And to be quite honest, you should be doing that for probably a year before you start your marathon training, which would probably be another 18 weeks on top of a year, if you're going to do it right. You can certainly start a plan and probably train for a marathon in 6 months. But again, if you're going to do it right, you should be doing that base training for a year. And then you should do one of these marathon training programs for anywhere from 12 to 18 weeks. So, all right, what am I doing? Not really the Hal Higdon 3. I found that was a little bit too much. Believe it or not, 3 days per week was too much running for me. I have a really good, and it's not my lungs. It's honestly the amount of time required and just the stress on my body. It just doesn't work for me. And I've even backed off on my lifting. So right now, here's what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 runs per week. I'm doing 1 run that's a little bit shorter, so a short to medium distance run. So it's usually somewhere between 4 and 8 miles, and then 1 longer run per week. So that's usually between 10 and 15 miles. I do have a 20-mile run coming up. That's going to give me a really good indication of I need to, so far, even on a 15-mile run, I haven't hit what they call the wall. So I have not experienced that yet. I've been up to this point, I've been good in the training, no troubles, a couple of little, leg issues here and there, but I haven't hit this mental, physical wall that people talk about. So we'll see if that happens on the 20-mile run. So I'm doing 2 runs per week, 1 like a mid-distance or even a short one, and 1 a longer run. And I'm still lifting twice per week. Now, normally I love lifting. So normally I'm lifting 3 to 4 days per week, depending on my phase of training. So 2 days per week for me is not a lot of strength training. So I've really backed off on my strength. So here's what my schedule looks like on a weekly basis. Typically on Monday, I'm doing a strength workout, and that's a total body workout. I'm doing more of like a 5x5 approach. So I'm doing heavy weight for lower reps for more sets. For me, this is a pretty dramatic drop in the volume of working out. In my sets or not sets, but in the reps that I'm doing. So that's Monday. Tuesday or Wednesday is usually my mid-distance run. So it just depends on when I have enough time. So again, that's usually a 5 to 8 mile run, somewhere in there. So if I run on Tuesday, Wednesday is a rest day. And then Thursday is usually another lift day. Friday is a rest day because Saturday is usually the day that I do my long run. So I like to get a rest day before I go do that long run. I know a lot of people who, I would say like a lot of running athletes, they love the feel of running, and I get that. So they tend to overtrain. So like if I have a long run scheduled on a Saturday and I go decide I'm going to run 3 miles on a Friday, to me, those are junk miles because it's going to cut into how I feel and it's going to cut into my performance for that long run on Saturday. So I tend to take Friday as a rest day. And then Sunday is also a rest day. So I have 3 rest days scheduled per week. And what I found for me, because I already have a really good base of fitness, my cardiovascular health is great. My VO2 max, which I had tested a couple months ago, puts me around the 20-year-old age range. So my cardiovascular fitness is there. The only reasons that I'm putting in some miles running, but not too much, is because number one, I want to gradually increase the stress on my skeletal system. And number two, it's the mental aspect of running for a very long distance. I want to make sure, like on these longer runs, the 15 mile, the 20 mile, like, can I mentally get through that? So that's the reason that I'm doing the training that I am doing. But again, because I'm trying to prevent injury, and it seems like the more often I run, the more I put myself at risk of injury or these little chronic nagging things that tend to happen, like the plantar fasciitis, whatever, like sciatic issue I tend to get in the right hip. So I'm trying to avoid those things. And right now it seems like this 2-a-week thing, 2 running days, 2 strength training days, and then 3 rest days seems to be working really well for me because I feel good in my runs. So that's what my training schedule looks like right now. I think we are I think we're about 5 weeks out right now from the actual marathon. Maybe it's 6 weeks. So I've got 1 long run scheduled in early September, and we're going to see how that goes. I'll definitely post again after that run. But otherwise, I hope you found this helpful. As I said, if you're going to try a minimalist training approach to a marathon, you should definitely already have some running, and you should have a good base of fitness under your belt. If you're a beginner, you definitely want to start with almost a year of just base training, and then you train with an actual plan for your marathon. So hope you found this helpful. I'll keep you guys updated on how it's going.